Let's start the discussion. We are talking about Anahat Chakra, right? The heart chakra. Many times I feel that I didn't feel the energy right of the place or the person or the thing. So I wanted to discuss this word energy and your understanding of energy. So today my question to you is, think about it. Okay, think about it. How has your heart felt or got affected by energy of others, especially negative energy? Suppose you don't like somebody, you still have to be in the presence of that person or the situation. Think, how have you felt at that?
I think my boss.
That's
So,
pretty common, you know?
yeah. So it puts me in stress, I would say, stress of growing in career and all that stuff. So it doesn't help me in any way.
So do you feel heaviness in your heart at that time?
Yeah, I mean, basically, all the accumulated stress comes in about how to tackle such situations, and yeah, I do feel that heaviness.
The heaviness in your heart.
Many a times I just forget whatever happened in the past. Things could have happened like not so well between people or the situation, but somehow I tend to put that aside. And if you are in a different place for a different purpose, I just like don't think what happened in the past and then hold any of those like hard feelings. I just like act normal. But there are situations, maybe I'm just handling one now. So when a person doesn't get what, then like spreads the rumor, which is really not true. But spreading the rumor in such a way that, so you live in a community, so when somebody has like more friends and then like that rumor like spreads like fire, I know it comes back to me because I do have like few people like who, hey, it's going on something, so that hurts. I know like it's rumor, you should not feel so hurtful about it, but when it goes out of control, feel very hurt.
You can't take it, your mind just goes off. And very thoughtful reflection on a current situation.
Even some of my practices, I was little off.
Yeah, it takes a long time.
I had this personal experience many years ago. It was about some person in my neighborhood. The moment that person used to come to my house, I used to feel, I don't know what energy she had, but I used to feel very agitated. It was to a point that I used to wait for her to leave the house. And I knew that if she stays longer, there will be some issue in my house. It was to a point. And then slowly, because I had to get used to it, she was my neighbor, I kept on addressing to myself, it is a temporary situation. She's here only for 5-10 minutes, 15 minutes, half an hour. You can handle it. I think I overcame that fear and then it was all fine. That 10-15 minutes was extremely distressful.
So negative energy does affect me of somebody, but I've realized myself that I'm not a spontaneous person. Like, so if a negative energy if somebody is being negative, it's going to affect me like in a negative way. I know that this person is negative or is going through some emotions. I've already prepared myself that I'm going to meet that person. I'm in a very good mood. Like I can handle it because I've prepared myself. So I need to do more. Yeah.
Very good. So preparation is very important to handle that negative energy. Awesome answer.
Yeah, even myself, I am preparing, how to handle the negativity person, how they are forcing us and everything. But still, even though we are handling in subconscious or in the second thought, what I am thinking, why I want to, change for them.
Very good point. Why do I want to change for them?
We are facing that person, whoever, spreading the rumor. That time, even though we are good, we are not doing anything. I am good. My mind is free. Everything is okay. But in the second thought, I am thinking, why we want to give them that rights to, why they are spreading on us.
Yeah, your mind questions, right? Why the negativity is being spread about you or somebody else.
Yeah. One person is there who is very negative. Everybody knows and they will talk. But then whenever she is there, it is so negative. She'll always says that it is coming through some other person, but she is the one who is wanting to do things. Someday she is absent. We are very happy that, okay, she's not there. Nothing is going to happen. Everybody is sorted. Everybody is responsible enough these days. You don't need to tell anybody that you have to do this, right? So, but she will make it a point to come and say, please do this, please do that, as if, no, she's taken up the whole world's responsibility. And that actually used to irritate initially, but now we have to deal with it. That person is going through emotional turmoil. We know. I mean, after yoga, we've come to know that, okay, isko kuch problem hai, so isliye she is acting like this every time. Takes out everything on us. so it is known. So people want us to speak it out. There are some other elements. Why don't you tell it back or give it back like that? I say I can't stoop down to that level. It's okay. Let her go through whatever. Let her finish it and then come back to her normal self. I can't get stressed out because of what she is going through, right? So
This
you
is also
allow
because
things-
of your yoga practice, right? You have been practicing
yes,
for so long time.
So reflection
And also,
is very important. Yeah, correct.
yeah. Anybody
That
else wants to
helps.
add anything about them handling such situation?
You are in a company of a negative person, will definitely affect you. But at the same time, when you are you can feel the positive vibe from the people. Okay, sometimes you feel frustrated because if the situation or things are not happening the way you want it to happen, somehow negativity affect you.
The word energy itself has come from a Greek word energia, which means activity. So we'll understand energy in different levels today. Everybody as a science student, we know what energy is. We have kinetic energy, potential energy. It's something that propels a matter. Energy is something that propels a inert matter, internal energy, and it helps us move in a particular direction. In body, what happens? We have every cell has a structure called mitochondria. This is called the powerhouse of the cell. So it takes food and then it converts it into something called ATP, which is the energy packets, and then that's our energy from on the physical level. Now coming to yoga. Now this physical body feeds our prana. Okay, our sthul sharir feeds our prana. Pran Shakti we call it. We have the 5 pranas: prana, pan, saman, udan, and vyan. So if our physical body is not well, our prana is also affected with it because we feel tired, energy is less. And then we do this pran mudra to energize ourselves. Have you done? If not, it's very powerful. So try that. So that's a level of prana. We have that energy which activates all the system. The third level of energy, what we all have, is at the tendencies of our mind, the mental tendencies. And that energy level are called the gunas or the prakriti in Sanskrit. And I've always told we have 3 gunas: sattva, rajas, and tamas. That is also energy or the tendency of the mind. Main energy that guides us, it's mind. Is the tendency of your mind that guides you. That also affects the prana, that also affects the body. Even though we get fed by a body and a prana, but mind is superior than all those things. So I would like to say a shlok from Bhagavad Gita and then explain you about this 3 gunas, because that's the main energy, the mental energy we are talking about today. So in chapter 3, verse 45, we have Krishna telling Arjun that Tre Gunya Vishaya Veda. Tre Gunya, the 3 gunas, Vishaya Veda. Veda means we are talking about the Karma Kanda, about the world, the Vishaya of the world, the subject of the world. They all have these 3 gunas. Whatever subject or different people you deal with, they have this sattva, rajas, and tamas. Then the second part of the first line of the shloka is Nistre Gunya Bhava Arjuna. Nistre Gunya means wherever there's a ni word attached, that means above that, beyond that, or without that. Like akar, nirakar. Okay? Uttar, niruttar. So ni word means opposite. Nistre Gunya means go beyond these 3 gunas, Arjun. Nistre Gunya Bhava Arjuna. What will happen when you go beyond the sattva, rajas, and tamas? Then Bhagavan says you'll become nirdvandva. That means nirdvandva means duality. Everywhere where we have positive and negative energy, that is for sure. Every mind has all these 3 gunas and they're interacting. They either emit a positive mindset or a negative mindset. But if you try to go beyond and look beyond every situation, beyond these 3 gunas, then you'll become nirdvandva. Nirdvandva means you'll not be in any duality. And then you'll always be situated in your true self. And then you will not have to worry about dealing with the world. That's what actually the crux of the shloka is. So energy changes with the intention of the mind. Okay, energy is real. You can feel the energy of people's mind. And more you practice yoga, like Radha said, you can understand maybe this person is very agitated or an angry person. Maybe that person is not happy. Something is going on in their life itself, because a happy person cannot trouble others. That's for sure. So you have to look beyond and also understand yourself when you're in a reactive mode of something happening in the world. See that tamas is developing within you also. Then at that time, you have to catch yourself. What am I doing? Why am I dwelling in something which is in the world, either sattvic, rajasic, or tamasic, where you can actually rise above all these 3 tendencies. So Bhagavan is not telling that don't dwell in tamas or rajas. He's also telling don't dwell in sattva also. Some people get that ego, right? I'm too spiritual. I do a lot of rituals. Have you seen such people? I know all the shlokas of Bhagavad Gita. They get that heavy-headedness of their studies they have done. They are in Sattva Gun, but they have that ghamand of being in the Sattva Gun also. That's also not right. So even not get attached to that Sattvata which you are going towards. Okay, so you have to understand that by simply changing your thoughts and with your practice, it can be instant or it can be gradual. Sometimes it's instant. It depends on your underlying practice, how much fixed deposit of your practice you have. Okay, you can change the energy not only of yours around you, your mind, and you can change energy all around you. Your heart rhythm can change because your emotional state has changed. Otherwise, you'll always constantly feel your heaviness in your heart if you're constantly dwelling or dealing with tamasic tendencies of people outside. Sometimes I say, so dealing with different types of people can be very exhausting also, isn't it? When you're dealing constantly with the negative energy, it can be very exhausting. So sometimes I say, love people from distance. You don't have to go and talk to them, but don't hate them. Don't have that dvesh bhavna inside you. Even if they're spreading rumors for you, feel pity on that mind that who's doing that they're still reveling. Uparama, who's attended the Tattva Bodh classes, we studied Uparama. That means you're reveling on something which is not conducive for your growth. So they are reveling in something that is not conducive for their growth. What is the growth pattern? Going from tamas to rajas to sattva and then going beyond. Nistra guna bhava arjuna. You have to go beyond that also. Your sadhana is almost like a pole jumping in an Olympics game where you hold the pole. The pole should be of sattva only, where you gradually leave all the negative tendencies, go up, and at one point you have to leave that pole and then jump on the other side. That's pole jumping in Olympics. You don't even hold on to your practices anymore. Don't hold on to your scriptures. Don't hold on to any identity. Then you'll see everything from a distance as though you're flying on a plane, you're seeing the traffic down, you're not bothered. Whereas you're on 401, you're very bothered. Driving in the highway, think always you're on plane. Even on highway, you're on plane only. You're having an observer mindset. Enjoy. So I used to do a job which was like 30 to 40 minutes away. I love driving because of what I started practicing during my driving. So every red light, I used to be afraid of taking highway. So I used to take just road. So it was even more longer. Every red light, I used to focus on my breathing. Deep diaphragmatic breathing. I started loving my practice so much that even if it's orange, I'll stop. The people behind me will be, honk, why did you stop? But because of that practice, no matter what I'm doing, where I'm driving, I just love driving now. The traffic doesn't bother me. More the traffic, better it is for me. I'm just giving a silly example, but this you can practice with every example. Anybody who's bothering you, you have to create your boundaries. They don't come and physically bother you. Like they come and shout at you or spread their anger on you or say bad words to you. That way you have to create your boundary. You should never allow anybody to do that. Physical hurting. But mentally hurting, it's fine. You can deal with it with your own practices. And then if you have to avoid that company for a little while, it's okay. There's nothing wrong in that. Love them from a distance. That's what I say. It's okay for some time till the only thing that's telling you that you still need protection. Your mind still needs protection. Your mind is still a little bit weak. Your sadhana is not that strong. And if your sadhana becomes stronger and stronger, from a little flame, you become a big bonfire. Who cares? Everything will be burnt. Then only love and compassion will come out of your heart. But when you are in that whirlpool of agitation, okay, suppose you're dealing with a very difficult situation, then it's difficult for you to come out if your sadhana is not strong or if you haven't fostered that energy from within, that energy of sattva. So start seeing energy in terms of that, but also start practicing that Nistra Gunya Bhavarjana, going beyond this tendency. Whether you put a tilak or you look at the slippers, it should be the same energy. Doesn't matter. If you look at Ganga Jal or a muddy water, doesn't matter. So you have to go to that state. If you're looking at a person shouting at you, a person hugging you, doesn't matter. But create your boundary, protect yourself also at the beginning. What is the difference between a sadhu and a sadhak? Who can tell me? Kiran? Test time.
It's a teacher and a student?
I mean, yeah, but more details?
Sadhu,
Yes.
someone who's quiet, calm, like
Sadhu is who's already connected with God. Sadhak is us who are trying to get connected.
To be honest, nothing is coming to my mind.
Sadhu already achieved and sadhak is achieved. Try to achieve it.
Very good. Yeah, that's exactly the answer is. Sadhu is somebody who's already reached the destination. Sadhak is en route person. It's okay. So a lot of times people will make fun of you if you're sadhak, that, oh my God, you're practicing yoga and meditation for such a long time, you're still getting angry. It's okay. Don't get agitated. Don't worry about them who comment on you. You may get a lot of comments, I'm telling you. Start changing your lifestyle. You may get comments from your immediate family member, from your extended family members, from your children, from your friends, colleagues, relatives. They'll make fun of you. All those things will happen. But what a sadhak has a goal, that goal is there, right? What you have to achieve. Once that goal is fixed, do you care about the people coming on the side? No, you go towards your goal. You're en route. Do you care about any things on the side, road fallen down with things? No, you don't. You carry on your journey with more intensity. If there's a traffic in between, you want to get rid of that traffic soon, right? You want to intensify your journey. I already got late a little bit with the traffic. So intensify your practice if something is bothering you more and more. It's totally up to you. That's why during the Yoga Nidra, I ask you to take a number from 0 to 10. How much motivation do you have? 0 is no motivation, 10 is a do or die situation. How much motivation you have to cross that road and reach the destination? It's up to you. Nobody can give you a timeline except you. It depends on how much muck is in the mind, how much you're getting affected. That's what I mean. So it's almost like cleaning your mirror. Every time you get affected, you feel like you have to clean your mirror a little bit more. It's still not reflecting the true self. Don't look so stressed, guys. I'm just saying simple things. I'm saying in a very easy to understand way. Don't take it so seriously. So it's everyday sadhana is what is important for you. Don't think that all of a sudden Buddha sat under a tree and got enlightenment. It doesn't happen that way. It takes many years. It takes a lot of hardship. If somebody is saying that, oh, I just sat on a mountain or under a tree, I got all those Nistra, Gunne Bhava Arjuna, I became that. It's all lie. It's all what is it called? Marketing gimmicks, fake propaganda. Nobody, unless you're born sent, you cannot do that. We all have tendencies of our mind. We all hate or love people. Don't feel guilty about hating people. It's okay to hate. But understanding that should not be my state all the time. It's okay to be on the road, but it should not be on the road all the time. You have to reach the destination. That's all I had to say. Any questions, reflections, comments? So energy in the terms of mind.
I just have one question. You mentioned like person who's negative, harping negative, and you feel very exhausted with that.
Yeah.
Love from a distance. You really love that person. You want to help them. So is that a right approach to love from a distance?
No, it's okay. It's okay. If you want to really hug them and everything, and if you can keep yourself calm down, I'm talking about situation when you don't want to face them. There's some situations or relationships you don't want to face them for some time, right? It happens.
Right.
In that situation, love them from a distance if that person is affecting you too much, and create your boundary. If my kids are getting affected with me, like if I have told them something or they are getting agitated with me, I just think they're just like peanuts, I don't care. They have told me all nasty stuff also, but I still hug them. I tell them, no matter how much you hate, I'm still your provider. So you have to listen to me till you become your own provider. No matter how much you don't want to see me, I'll give and do things to you. And they know that I'll do that. So they have given up on me on that I will not distance from them. I'll always bug them, no matter if they're angry with me also. Till 24 years of age only. I've told them clearly. After 25, it's your life. I'll not bother you. You come to me when you need me, I'll be there for you. So for kids, it's a different story. With adults, it's a little different treatment. You should never leave your kids. I have seen parents leave their kids, like youth, like 20, 21-year-old. They don't talk to them for days. That's wrong. Parents should never do that. You have to provide and protect for kids till 24 years of age. Because till 24, your frontal brain is not developed. They can make wrong decisions and they still need you. But don't judge them. Don't judge them ever. Even as an adult, we don't like when our parents judge us for some decisions we have made. We don't like our mothers or mother-in-laws to judge us when we have made some decision. So kids also don't like us judging them. You can be objective about it. See, this is what you do. These are the consequences. I'm telling you, you'll face this if you do this way. If you don't do your homework, you'll face the consequences. Be objective, but don't judge them. Tell them in a scientific and objective way. This is the action, this is the consequence. And this you can extend to adults too. And that's how you become objective. That's how you distance your emotions with whatever the goal is. Because any relationship that comes together, there has a goal in mind, right? Whatever it can be. Whenever you meet somebody, there's always a goal of a relationship. Either have fun or do something together or projects, go somewhere. So make sure because of your agitation, the higher goal is not compromised. Understand the tendencies of the mind You can only understand the tendencies of the mind when you understand your own mind. So that's why work on your mind. Bring that awareness within. Very important. It's okay. Let them dwell with whatever they're dwelling with. They may be very low in the energy by spreading rumors or talking negativity about people or talking nonsense which doesn't even make sense to you. Like, how can somebody talk like that? They have their own mind. They can use it. It's a tool. They can use their hammer whatever way they want. Like a hammer, mind is also a tool. You can put a hammer to put a nail, or you can hit your head with the hammer. You can do anything. Similarly, you can use the mind to go towards sattva. You can use your mind to go further down towards tamas. Each adult has that choice, that freedom to choose where they want to revel in. So look at the tendencies of people's mind, where they are situated, where their mind is situated. It's a nice game actually. When you start observing your own mind and people's mind, is it sattva, rajas, or tamas?
Can you tell the difference between these three minds?
Tamas is a negative mind, dull mind. Like we need tamas also when we go to sleep. We need that dullness. We are super excited, we cannot sleep. So it's not that tamas is altogether bad. We need some portions of tamas sometimes in life. So tamas is, but a lot of negative tendencies also. Tamas people always who are gossiping or criminals, all those causing harm to others is also tamas. And then rajas is too much agitation. Every time you get excited with something, you get excited or you get agitated if the weather is bad, if the traffic is bad, or you always want to do something. It's a spectrum, just like a light spectrum. It's a spectrum. So you can have a lot of tamas and then rajas. When rajas adds with tamas, you become a criminal. Like you think of how to cheat this person, get money out of that person. If a businessman is there, like if that's the tendency. If your rajas is more towards sattva, you'll do good things. Like you'll still be hyperactive, but you'll do good for people. Businessman who's doing seva also, not cheating in the business, things like that. So it's a spectrum. Rajas has a spectrum. And then sattva is absence of these two. There's no definition of sattva. Absence of these two, that means total calmness. And then in sattva alone, that tendency alone, you can meditate deeply. You can go within deeply. If there's a lot of tamas and rajas, people cannot meditate. So when somebody comes to me for healing, I see where their mind is situated. And then I give solution accordingly. Because there are different practices for tamasic people, different practice for rajasic, and different levels of rajasic, and different practice for sattvic people. So that for a teacher to understand is very important, because it's not a cookie cutter approach. It's not one size fits all in spiritual growth. You can only say twinkle, twinkle, little star to a child, but for astrophysics, you have to teach them the real science, right? So it's different levels of sadhaks. They're all sadhaks. Even tamasic people are sadhaks. They're all going towards that because everything they want good for themselves. Even people in rajas and sattva, they also want good for themselves. They want growth. Everybody wants growth. But tamasic people think growth is in drinking beer and watching a TV at midnight. Rajasic people is playing some football game or something, shopping. Rajasic, a lot of excitement, activity, partying is rajas. And sattva is absence of all these things. A lot of loads of information about energy. So your practice as a sadhak is, don't get disturbed by whether it's dirty dishes or clean dishes. Nothing is good or bad. Remember, it's here. Good or bad is here. How you perceive things. Dirty dishes, okay, well, who was assigned? Let's talk to that person. Clean floor, very good. Who was assigned? Let's praise that person. Looking at the shoes, dirty shoes, no negative energy. Looking at a nice, beautiful dress, positive energy, but don't just revel in that only. Somehow, all the situations. That's your practice as a sadhak. That's most important.